Hey, what's up guys? Totally off the cuff video to talk about this subject. Should you start a YouTube channel in the Philippines? There's a ton of new channels, as you know, if you've been paying attention over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, heck, even over the last few months, there's been some new channels here in the Philippines, expat YouTube channels. And so I get the question sometimes. In fact, I just had a gentleman that I was chatting with just the other day. He's a subscriber of mine. I've met him a few times. We've actually hung out now a few times. And he was thinking about it. He was thinking about starting a channel. And he wanted to ask my opinion on it, if he should do it. And you know, what should he think about if he does do it? And I've had people email me about it. Some people want nothing to do with it. But even years before I started my channel, I was thinking on and off about how it might be to have a channel. Could that be an alternative way of earning a living or a side hustle or something like that? But I never really figured out like what my channel would be about. Like many guys that might think about starting a YouTube channel, it's like, do I want to be on camera? Do I want to put myself out there to the world? Do I have anything interesting to talk about? What's the subject? And so the Philippines coming here, well, it was just an easy, obvious thing to start a channel for. Like, well, now's the time. Let's do it. Let's see where this goes. So when this gentleman asked me my thoughts on it, right away, I'm like, absolutely, you totally should. But there was a lot of follow-up questions and a lot of things that I think this guy and any of you should know about. So this video that I'm doing right now, it's an off-the-cuff talking head video. I don't know how well this video is going to do. It's not probably a very popular topic, but let's see. Let's all see where this video goes. This video is not going to take a ton of editing. I'll probably edit some crap out. I'll edit some ums, I'll edit some mumble, I'm trying to get better at being concise when I make videos. You know, you try to get better at articulating a thought. Like Old Dog, right? I've been on his channel, he's been on my channel. I've known him for quite a while now. We've actually talked about it. He didn't get into this because he knows how to edit or shoot video. And in fact, we were joking when he interviewed me, and there was a few parts that were kind of like, whatever, I didn't really like what I said, or I didn't get my thought out right. I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, you're gonna edit that out, right? Or blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, he started laughing. He's like, no, I don't edit. He's like, I just hit record and then I upload, right? So for him, he's got the ability, and others as well, to just have a really compelling thought and articulate it in an organized way to make sense and to get people to click on it and stay on that video and watch and gain something from it. Obviously his channel's grown. So I'm just using his as an example. The time that he puts in is anything before the video. Obviously he's thinking things through. He has like a good understanding of what he wants to talk about, but some people have a better ability than others to do that. It's not easy to just hit record and get your thoughts out. But back to the main question of should you start a channel, and then what kind of videos are you going to make? If you feel you can do that, if you feel you have compelling ideas and you can articulate them well, you're going to save so much time in editing, which basically translates to you're going to save a ton of time, a ton of headaches, a learning curve. The part of having a YouTube channel that I like the least is the editing, is like the time it takes to just put it all together. Some of my videos, I spend like a week sometimes putting a video together between B-roll and tweaking and voiceover and sort of conceptualizing and even like the shooting and the planning and the whole thing, easily a week to put together. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes not at all. Where these videos, which I've done many of these too, where I just sit and talk about different topics, they can do just as good or sometimes way better and take like a few hours total. Come up with an idea, maybe outline it. Maybe it's just a thought in your head and you're just ready to tell a story and you just start talking and it comes together and the edit is next to nothing and you post it and the video blows up because it's a compelling topic. And a lot of people almost care more about that than they do all the extras that go into some of these more involved videos. They want to hear your thoughts. They want to know if they're making the right decision. They want to know what your experience was. They want to know what to avoid. And you can get that out just by simply putting out the message, by telling a story. It doesn't need all the fancy. A lot of people watch videos. A lot of people just listen, right? They'll just play it while they're cooking or they'll play it while they're driving when they're back home. And it's just in the background because they want to take in the information. And so then it just, again, comes down to keeping it tight, succinct, interesting, have it flow, have it make sense. And then you're good, man. Then you're good. If you got the gift of the gab, if you're willing, like let's say you're not sitting and talking, but you're willing to just be out walking and engaging. A lot of people do those kind of videos and it's not a ton of editing either. And they're just out and about showing, it can just be one little part of their day. And you just hit record and you just show a few things, you engage with a few people, you talk about a few interesting things. Sometimes it's kind of simple. And there are people like that Philippines life. Never met him, another Canadian guy. He's really good at just talking and being in the moment and interacting with people. That guy, Jonathan, Travel Escapes, he's really good at doing just that. Like he can just walk down the beach and chat with some locals and show some few things and be upbeat and then go home and barely edit anything and boom, post it, and he does very well. Not saying it's all his videos are simple or anything like that, because I'm very certain he puts a lot of time into a lot of his videos, but a lot of it comes down to his ability to pull that off in a way that's compelling and interesting. And when you're that much better at it, you save so much time on editing. These are things you got to think about. You got to know your skill set. You got to know what you're getting into. As far as it working, even though there's so many channels out there, I wouldn't let that get in the way at all. Honestly, I would say you're better off trying rather than not trying and regretting, like never knowing if it would have worked out. I think starting YouTube channel is a great way to grow as a person, to learn how to communicate better, articulate better, how to get a thought out there in a concise way. It can motivate you to go out and do things. It can be like a hobby, especially if there's an element of getting out or traveling, things like that. But let me jump around here a little bit. Again, when you're out and about, and if you're doing travel videos, again, the hardest thing is compiling a whole bunch of footage, a whole bunch of like, record a little bit here, record a little bit there, talk to the camera a little bit, and not having any unison to it all. Because then you go home, and I can do this so many times, you just have so much footage, and you have these random clips, and you have these random moments where you're talking to the camera, and now you're like, well, what story is that? What message does that tell? Some people will just upload it raw like that. For whatever reason, I always feel like I want it to kind of come together in a message or a point or a purpose, or clean it up. But when you do that, it's a ton of editing. So travel videos, and you know, it sounds like fun. It sounds like a lot of fun to do that, but it can be a total nightmare. And then there's data management. You have huge files. Your phone or your camera will fill up, your computer will fill up. Are you editing on your phone or a computer? Do you need to get a computer? Do you need to get equipment? You don't need to spend a ton of money on like cameras. A lot of people are happy with like a small action camera using their iPhone. iPhone takes incredible footage, I would imagine Samsung and other phones as well. You know, depends on the kind of footage. You don't need the highest quality phone if you're just doing a sit and talk to the camera. Audio, massive. Never underestimate the impact and importance of good audio. Clean audio is actually more important than video. If you have like clicky, noisy audio, but you have perfect video, it doesn't matter. You're not watching. You're getting away. That is driving you absolutely nuts. But if you have clean audio with just no background noise or loud things or static, but the video quality is just like little lower resolution or whatever, you can ignore that. Actually, no problem. It'll still get the message across. Now, if it's shaky video and dizzy, yeah, that's no good. Let's see, what else am I gonna talk about? Money. Obviously, most people that do a YouTube channel, they want some sort of, part of their motivation is a little extra money. Is there actually money in YouTube? Yeah, absolutely. It depends on many things, but it's all based on an algorithm. It's all based on a rate. You can research it. You can hop on ChatGPT. What I'm about to tell you is just out there. It comes down to a rate per 1,000 views kind of thing, an RPM. So, but that rate fluctuates big time. It can be as low as $2. It can be as high as, I don't know, $15 per 1,000 views, which makes a massive difference. But what goes into that rate adjustment is a lot of things. So how long are they staying on your video for? The duration, that plays into it. Where are they from? Makes a big difference. If your audience is all from the US or if they're all from even the Philippines, makes a difference. The advertisers pay more from certain countries. That all fluctuates. but that makes a big difference. There's so many things that go into that rate. I don't even understand it completely. You're just hoping for the best. And sometimes it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason. Like, why is that rate so much higher than that one? It could be timing. It could be a uniqueness of the video, the topic. And same with not just the rate, but the views. It could be any given moment, there's a shortage of a certain topic and you hit on it and that will get pushed. That is a big part of your views, is how the algorithm pushes your video. So what'll often happen is they'll put it out there, like first to your subscribers, but then they'll put it out there and test different audiences and they'll see how it goes. They might get a little bit of feedback. They might try another audience. A lot of times videos kind of go up and then flat. Like a lot of them do that, where they'll get your subscribers, they'll test an audience, and then they'll just kind of let it fizzle out. And then sometimes there'll be something that makes the algorithm want to test some different markets. And if they see, oh wow, we can get a variety of eyes and interest from this variety of audiences that are out there, then they'll start pushing it out to more. And for whatever reason, certain videos will become, well, some reasons I can explain. They'll become evergreen videos. The reasons that I do understand, that I can explain, is if it's a topic, like if you're doing a news report or you're doing a score of a sports event, well, that's not going to be relevant next year, right? That is literally the next day or two, versus something that could be relevant over a long period of time. And those videos can become evergreen. And if YouTube likes it and the algorithm says this video gets a nice steady interest and it continues to, they'll just keep pushing it. Sometimes it'll take off and then it'll flat, then it'll take off, then it'll go flat, but it'll still overall be an evergreen video. And then as you build more evergreen videos on your channel, they will always be getting views in the background, and therefore they'll always be collecting a little bit of ad revenue in the background. That's how that kind of works. So you can be strategic in the kind of videos that you're creating to have more success with that and start building more and more of that. Remind yourself this too. There's always going to be more people checking out the Philippines. There's always going to be the desire to become an expat, to move abroad, for cost of living, for dating. All the reasons that are popular now are going to be popular in a few years. So there's always more people coming on that get into the YouTube rabbit hole and start watching YouTube videos. So I think there's lots of reasons to get into making a channel. You can try to take a unique angle, but I think more important is just be yourself, be authentic, stay on track with what you're trying to do. How are you helping? What message are you giving? Keeping it real, keeping it just literally from the heart, from your experience. The more you do that, the more people will appreciate it. Even if you're talking about something that people have already talked about on YouTube videos, believe it or not, people will consume a lot of the same stuff. When you're at home and all you can think about is escaping and coming overseas and starting a new life, it becomes an addiction, and you start watching content, even if a lot of it's the same, you're reabsorbing it from different opinions and you're reinforcing a lot of your thoughts, and sometimes you just enjoy it. You just enjoy listening to these types of things, whether it be dating or travel or whatever. And so I wouldn't shy away from it just because there's so many channels or topics have already been talked about. But of course, if you have unique angles to a certain topic and your personal perspective and experience, people will appreciate it that much more. All right, I'm here editing, guys. I forgot to mention something pretty important. I'm obviously talking a lot about making more simple talking head videos and focusing more on the topic and telling a good story rather than all the editing and all the layers to it. The reason that I'm really hammering that down is because I think the majority of guys, at least the guys that I've chatted with, they don't have a ton of experience with shooting and editing. And editing can get tricky. Editing can create the stress. Editing can add to the burnout more than anything else. And not only that, guys, the more layers you add to editing, the more chances you have to actually make the video not enjoyable to watch. Like amateur, heavily edited videos usually are horrible. When I started editing, that's just how it is. You think adding this fancy transition is cool, or adding all this music is really cool, and then you realize over time that actually makes it worse. So there's a lot of reasons why keeping it simple and focusing on the story, the message, keeping it concise and clear and organized is way more valuable and easier because you just have to focus on the one thing, and you're not just sitting in front of the computer all the time, which again can lead to burnout to where you don't even want to continue doing it. And so that's why I'm hammering that down. However, guys, there are obviously people that are looking to do this that do have a little bit of experience editing, or they like it, or they want to learn more and add that. They want to add some layers to their video. I will say this, if you add some layers of editing to make a talking head video better, obviously, just cutting out the crap, but adding B-roll. Adding some B-roll can really help tell a story, right? Like I do that with a lot of my videos, where even like the more your B-roll lines up to what you're saying, the more impact it'll have in telling the story. But that adds a lot, I'm telling you, way more than you might think, way more than you might think as far as how time consuming that is. To have all that footage organized, to go through it and line everything up, to manage it, once you're on an editing software and you start putting layers of tracks, and if you're adding a little bit of music, or if you're cutting in bits, or you're adding some voiceover, I'm telling you, it adds a lot of time for sure. Keep that in mind. Thought this was a worthy addition to the video. Now back to the other video. Here we go. As far as making money again, ad revenue is one way, guys. Affiliates are another thing, right? So affiliates can be a ton of different things. People that you partner with, again, services that you use and understand and know. Like I'll just mention it now, Michael Unstad. I recommend him without a doubt if you're looking to get health insurance. Link in the description, by the way. But that's how you kind of do it, right? You offer things that people are going to need, or many people are going to need. You vet them, you talk to people that there's tons of expats that use Michael Unstad for Pacific Cross Insurance, expat insurance, and you start to get feedback. And I've met enough people now that know him and have worked with his company, and the benefits are the added value is the service element to it, like being there for you when you need it in the hospital. They'll be there to help coordinate everything, because if you don't have that, it can be a nightmare. So affiliates like that. Another one would be like Heidi with C&G. I'm going to mention my affiliates right now to give examples, but also because I'm making the point, right? Heidi's a good friend of mine. C&G does retirement visas, spousal visas, starting a business. I was just with Heidi the other day. We shot some videos. She's fantastic. And I know her partner Marcel very well too. It's a great company. And if you're needing to do a visa anyways, that's where becoming a content creator is really cool. You can source out really good people, really good companies, and partner with them. It's helping people with stuff they're looking to do anyways, but it's also potentially helping your channel if whatever arrangement that you make. A lot of affiliates, you'll get maybe commissions, or you'll get like some base amount, and the more that you add to it, the more options like that, the more the pie kind of fills in with different ways of earning. As a YouTuber, it's not just ad revenue. A lot of people do consultations. You live here for a while, you start to really understand things, and you can add value. Aside from just making videos, some people want to talk to you directly so they can ask questions and be one-on-one and really make sense of some of the things you talk about in your videos. And you chat for an hour or a video call, and you go through everything, all the things they're trying to figure out. And they're like, dude, that was totally worth it. And then you do some of those every month, right? And then you start to add up to a monthly amount that gives you extra spending money. It can turn into something that's better than you thought, right? So I got to jump in again. I totally spaced talking about this. This is kind of it's an interesting one for me, and I'm just going to put it out there. I want people to actually comment on this. Especially I want those of you that don't like that YouTubers make money. Because there's something about a content creator, especially a smaller content creator. It seems like the smaller you are, the more certain people really get irritated that you are making money, that you're doing things to try and earn with the hard work that you're putting in to putting videos together to help people with big life decisions and coming to the Philippines, for example. It really irritates some people. If you guys are comment readers, I'm sure at some point you've come across comments, and some of you are the ones that comment, that you just really don't like it. I'm really curious as to why. Maybe because it's YouTube and it seems like not a real job. So I find that funny. Is the logic behind that, the more boring the job is, the more, if it's like a cubicle suffering crappy job, the more that person really deserves getting paid for it. And if they really love it and it's kind of cool or different or unique, the more they shouldn't get paid for the work they put in. Isn't all of it is work, right? Like you're doing something that's producing something to add value to someone in some way. Like that's how it works. That's why Google makes so much money on all of the content creators, because there's so much value in it for people. Like people are going to YouTube more than TV. And so Google's charging an arm and a leg for advertisements and then just paying a percentage of that to all these creators out there. I want to know why it pisses people off so much. I'm honestly open to trying to understand it. But I also want to make the point that it seems like the larger channels and anyone really big and successful, no one says a thing about them having, and they often have more sponsors because they have more sponsor opportunities. They have big sponsors, and sometimes they're long reads that they read for that company. It takes a big chunk out of the video, and no one bitches at them, but they're making so much money already in ad revenue because they're just such a huge channel. Or like a massive podcast or something like that. They make so much money through their sponsors. And every athlete and everyone has sponsors when you're really successful. But like the smaller channels just get ripped on for trying to like make it sustainable to earn a little bit of money to put this together. I had to add this, guys, and I really want to know the feedback from those of you that think it's so wrong that us content creators are looking at this as a job or even a side hustle, hobby job, right? Those guys still want to earn something for it, right? What's wrong with it? What's the argument? What's a valid argument? I challenge you to put together a thoughtful argument on that. Anyways, back to the video. So there's definitely more to it than just that when it comes to starting a YouTube channel, but I think I covered most of it. I would definitely say don't shy away, go for it. You're better off trying rather than regretting never trying, because it could turn into something. Give it a shot. Definitely find the balance so you don't overdo it and burn out or get yourself in over your head with editing or trying to do too much. Keep it simple. That's why I really wanted to mention the talking head video, and that's why I wanted to make this a talking head video, like a lot of Philippines YouTube channels, that you can still do that. You can do a simple channel and still provide value to viewers. And some people will love those, some people will not. You can't please everyone. Oh, I should finish with this. Oh my God, how have I not mentioned this? You have to know, getting into YouTube, you will have haters. You could literally spread amazing positive messages in every video and just be a simple, nice, likable guy, and somehow you're gonna get haters on your videos. They're going to show up. They're going to find their way in the comment section. How you handle that, it's up to you. I think that early on, a lot of times people just take all the abuse because they wanna be nice and keep their channel going. I wanted people to be happy with my channel. So a lot of times early on, new YouTubers will kind of, take the abuse a little bit more, but I don't think you should, to be honest. I think if it's clearly someone that's just trying to throw hate and throw toxic thoughts out there, what'll end up happening is it will actually spread and people will read that, and for whatever reason, you get the mob mentality and you'll get other people like piling on and doing that. And then all of a sudden you can have like this benign channel of just normal, nice stuff, and your comment section will be out of control. I used to be like that for me, and people would be like, dude, what's up with your channel? Like, well, your comment section, you have all this crazy toxic stuff. I still get crazy comments. Oh, hey buddy, dog just came to say hi, my neighbor's dog. So you have to have thick skin. You have to know that you can't take that stuff personal. People are literally trying to get under your skin. I don't get it. I don't understand the joy in that for people. If it's like a differing point of view and they share some thoughts, dude, whatever, it's good. It's nothing wrong with throwing conversation out there or different points of view. But some people seem really angry and mad and pissed with things that you post, and they'll do like all caps, like yelling at you, and it's really weird. I don't get it. Anyways, so just expect that. You're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to know how to not take it personal. Most people do a little bit more early on and then get used to it. Some people never get comfortable with it. The other thing would be, if if you get to a baseline of popularity, you're just going to run into people that see you on your channel and they're going to want to chat. You know, that's a funny one because I think everyone probably handles that differently. But for me, it's kind of a cool thing. I didn't get into this at all for that. Like I shied away from even doing this because I'm just not looking to be the center of attention. But you're gonna run into people that you know. And yeah, for me, it's kind of like, I'm grateful for it. It's like, holy shit, this is cool. Like, and people will come up to you and want to meet you and just chat with you, or even say thanks for the videos. You helped me make my decision to move here. Your content helped. How cool is that? Like, how great is that? Some people, I met a guy that actually quit his channel because of that. He said a combination of just the comments, the hate comments, and just the attention and the having to deal with people and interactions, comment section in real life. He got popular pretty quick. People were coming up to him. He didn't like it. He didn't want anyone to come up to him. He wanted full privacy, and he was getting recognized, and he just hated it. And so even though he was finding success, he quit because of that. And he was even making some money. So you got to know, once you cross over and you become a content creator, if you start to get popular, it will change. It will change for you. But for me, and I think many can see it as a positive, you meet great people. I've made a lot of friends this way. It breaks the ice right away. They recognize you. You get a little chit chat going, and there's just really cool, nice people, man, that usually are just appreciative, and they think it's cool to meet someone. It's funny, like obviously YouTubers, regular dudes just like you that started hitting record, but YouTube has become, it's not like celebrity, like movie celebrity, but when you stare at someone enough, you start to feel like you're connecting with that person, you know that person, they become a little mini celebrity or something, right? I remember meeting other YouTubers, and you just can't help but think of it that way. You see them, you're just used to seeing them on your TV or on your phone, and then you see them in real life. But I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. Some people hate it. Yeah, it's not like people are, it's not like hot girls are chasing after you because you're on YouTube. It's just like retired guys that want to come and talk to you and stuff. And it's just normal curiosity and friendliness is all it is. But to each their own. Okay, I made that kind of a big point to end with, but I'm rambling here. I think I covered everything. Hope that helps you guys think it through about starting a YouTube channel. Go for it. Have fun with it. See where it goes. Keep your expectations in check. If you're not having fun with it, then you got to think twice about what you're doing. Anyways, like I said, this could probably go on for a long time to talk about every little detail on it. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. More videos to come. Take care.